Hello everyone. I have had so many requests since coming back to YouTube to do a Q&A. So I asked on my Instagram, I put a little question box up and you guys sent in so many questions. And I thought, how am I possibly going to go through all of these questions and pick out the ones that I think are the best to answer? So I decided it would actually make more of a fun video if I just screenshotted them at random. So just scrolled for a bit, took a screenshot, scrolled for a bit, took a screenshot. And then I just selected all of those photos and put them in an album on my phone called Q&A. So it looks like this. It has been so long since I've done a Chatty Q&A, probably, I don't know, about 6 years or something. So this is long overdue and I'm excited to just sit down and have a chat with you. First thing I have to just let you know is that if you hear this noise, I'm sitting on a really creaky stool right now. So that's what that noise is. Okay, question number one. There's actually two hair questions on here. One says, how do you keep your hair so healthy with dyeing it blonde? The answer is, I don't. My hair is definitely not healthy since being blonde. And then the other question is, would you ever go back to your natural hair color? And this is something that I thought I definitely wouldn't go back to my natural hair color. Two reasons. One, I do really love being blonde. I just really, really like it. I know that some of you have your opinions on it and you love my natural hair color and you wish I would go back to that. But I feel like as soon as I went blonde, I just felt like, I don't know, it just made me feel more me, which sounds silly because it's not my natural hair color, but I just felt like it suited my style. I feel like I can just wear a simple black jumper and then having blonde hair just gives you kind of a bit of a lift. I just really enjoy being blonde, so I just never thought that I would go back to my natural hair colour. Although, the other day, who did I see? It was Abby Clancy. I went to this Hogwarts in the Snow event, which was amazing, by the way. It's the Warner Brothers Harry Potter Studios. And anyway, she was there and I was looking at her thinking, her hair colour is so nice. It was kind of brunette on the top and then went into some kind of highlighty, but nothing this blonde at the bottom. And that did make me feel tempted. Just something I get tempted to do is not go back to my natural hair colour, but just do something where it's a bit more kind of closer to my natural hair colour on the top and then going into kind of blonder bits on the bottom. That sounds really weird the way I'm describing it, like a half and half. But yeah, if you look at how Abby Clancy's hair is right now, let me know in the comments if you think I should do that. The next question here is, how do you deal with heartbreak with a sad face? I'm really sorry if you're going through a heartbreak right now. It is so hard. It literally feels like a physical pain. But time, as frustrating as that is to hear, time is the biggest healer and you will feel better. And even if you feel like it's all consuming right now, in a month's time, 3 months' time, maybe even a year's time, you will suddenly go through an entire day and just realise that you didn't think about it and that you actually felt happy all day. But in the meantime, I think just be patient with yourself, be kind to yourself. Don't try and force yourself to feel another way. Just allow yourself to feel your feelings, but also surround yourself with friends and plan nice things to yourself. Prioritize you in this time. I also think it can be a really good time to really work out who you are as a person because you have so much time to focus on yourself. And you may not ever get that time again in your life. You might fall in love again really quickly and then never have this time alone again. So I think it's really important to just really focus on yourself and just know that this feeling is not forever. You will not feel like this forever. I think that tip also goes for, it just made me think of just having a bad day. If you have a bad day, I think I used to suddenly panic and think, oh my God, this is what I'm going to feel like all the time. I feel so awful. Why am I feeling like this? Da, da, da. And just really freaking out and panicking about having a bad day. But I think from years of experience of having the odd bad day, I now know that nothing is permanent. Moods change, feelings change, and I think the biggest important thing to do is just be kind to yourself. Are you doing Vlogmas? I'm not doing Vlogmas. I'm sorry, guys. I feel like I've only been back on YouTube, what is it, like 5 months? Maybe next December I'll feel ready for a Vlogmas, but right now I don't want to. It was a big decision coming back to YouTube, and I feel like I don't want to suddenly commit to 24 videos in December and then feel like I've just gone back to where I was 10 years ago on YouTube. I'm sorry that I'm not doing Vlogmas. I know there are so many amazing people doing Vlogmas, so you'll have lots of Vlogmases to watch. I can't wait to watch Zoe and Alfie's Vlogmas, obviously because they're my friends. I just love watching it. Let me know in the comments if there's anyone else's Vlogmas that I should watch, by the way. What's your favourite part versus most challenging part of being a mum so far? Okay, favourite part of being a mum is how much joy he brings me. And sorry, I'm going to put two things in here because they're kind of wrapped up together. How much joy he brings me every single day. No matter how I'm feeling, he makes me smile every single day. And my other favourite part that kind of goes in with that is the love. The unconditional love that I have for him is so powerful and just such a wonderful feeling that you just can't explain it to anyone. I remember really clearly a friend telling me about it or trying to tell me about it when I was pregnant. And I thought I knew what she meant. And then when I had Sage, I was like, oh, this is what she means. It's just so intense. And it's definitely the best feeling I've ever experienced. Put it that way. Oh, other part of this question is most challenging part of being a mum so far. Other than... Oh, let me just put my phone on silent in case that rings. Challenging, two things really. I would say going with the love part that I've just described, one of the challenges is just worrying about him because I just love him so much and just thinking about him all the time. The other challenge is kind of general because my thing about this is that it changes all the time. There's always a challenge. Although right now I feel like we're in a particularly easy phase with him, but that's the key word here, phase. Everything is a phase. And I think if you're a new parent, that's something that's so important to remember. Everything is a phase. The good, the bad, everything. The only thing that's constant is your love for them. Babies change so much from newborn to 2. Sage has just turned 2. And there have been so many phases. And some of the more challenging ones are probably around sleep. So the phases where we've had to rock him to sleep in our arms, and sometimes that's taken an hour and your arms are killing you, but you just so want him to go to sleep. But also there will still be challenges when he's a teenager, when he's out without me and I'm worrying about him, and I just know that every single age will have its challenges. So I think that's something you just have to prepare yourself for if you're becoming a parent. Oh, this is an interesting one. Would you ever put out another book? My favourite book, I think, out of the books that I did was my baking book, which was just pure baking, because I really just genuinely had the best time doing that. And I loved the outcome of my Christmas book. But so much of that, I remember the publishers asking me to, and they were brilliant, the publishers, but they wanted to have chapters that are things that I'm not necessarily very good at, like a big arts and crafts chapter. And my sister is amazing at arts and crafts, but it's not something that I kind of would say that I lead on. I'd happily take part in arts and crafts, but it's not really my thing that I felt kind of equipped to write a chapter in a book about. So when you're working on a book like that with a publisher, you do get a lot of help, and my sister helped me with it. But I feel like the baking part I loved so much because obviously I'm not a chef or a baker, and I'm not even the best baker, but it was just the fact that I enjoy baking so much and it's such a sentimental thing to me. And I loved deciding on every single recipe for every single chapter. And yes, there was a professional who helped me create the recipes, but I really loved the creative part of that and me coming up with ideas and saying, oh, well, I really want to do milk chocolate chip cookies with cornflakes in, I want to do this. And so I really love that. But I don't know if I did another book, I honestly don't know what it would be, other than I would love to do kind of an updated baking book one day, but I don't know if I'll ever get that opportunity. So I don't know is the answer. Favourite interiors items you've got for the new house so far? Oh, guys, honestly, I am so excited. I'm so close. I feel like I want to do some kind of house tour in like January. Obviously, I love Christmas, as you guys know, but I feel like if I do a big kind of house tour kind of video and Instagram posts and things like that, I don't want it to just be Christmas related. I want to be able to look back on it in summertime, and I feel like it will be weird if I do it when we have Christmas decorations up. I get so many messages from you all the time about the house, and I love how invested you all are in it, because I so enjoyed sharing the renovation process here on YouTube, and I also got so many tips from you all, so thank you for everyone who commented. But just know that I am so excited and I cannot wait to share the finished house with you. I say finished house, obviously houses are never fully finished. They're always changing, you're always adding things or getting new pieces and things like that. But I think I'm going to do it in January now. But in terms of my favourite items that we've got in the new house, all of the items that I absolutely adore are antique pieces. I think because they have so much character, they're unique, they're one of a kind. No one else has them. You're never going to end up with that house that looks like everybody else's on Instagram, and something just feels really special about it. We got our antique pieces from all over the place. Maybe I'll link some in the description box for you guys, but there's so many websites online that I look at all the time. They're also really great for art as well, because art is so expensive, but you can get, I mean, we got a little picture last weekend from an antique shop in Hampstead, and it was £10, and it's made our kitchen look so lovely and homey and cozy. The rug in our bedroom that I'm sat on right now is just so beautiful, and it's an antique. Things that aren't antique though that I love Jim Lawrence, for all our door handles are Jim Lawrence, and pinch lighting. It's very amazing. That's a real investment, but they're almost like art pieces in themselves. I'm just looking around the room now, but I can only see in these two rooms. We've got the bedroom here and then the bathroom through the double doors there. Oh, the reclaimed double doors, which were eBay, £70, and I just love them. They give this house so much character whilst also being practical. Oh, this is a good one. Love Actually or The Holiday. Now, I love both of these films. I really, really do. And I've watched both many times over the years. But if I'm being totally honest, I have to say The Holiday, because I put The Holiday on TV. I've already had it on like 5 times this year so far. It's a film that it's up there in my favourite films of all time list. I can just put it on anytime, and I always feel good when it's on, and I just love Kate Winslet, love Cameron Diaz, love Jack Black, love Jude Law. I can just never have enough of that film. So that would have to be my favourite. Where is your go-to place for Christmas PJs? M&S. Has to be M&S. They're kind of, what's it called, like brushed cotton. I will say though, they do make you very hot, because it's like a brushed cotton, so I'll often end up taking them off in the night. But for being cozy around the house, the M&S brushed cotton, or is it called like flannel or something, pajamas, we all have matching ones, and I just think you can't get anything cozier or more Christmassy than the M&S. They're like the red tartan PJs. What's your favourite Christmas song? Okay, I'm gonna have to go on to, I have been listening to Christmas music, by the way. I've been listening to the Now 100 Hits Christmas. This album is what I've been playing on Spotify a lot recently. Oh, and also on our Alexa in the kitchen, every day we just say, Alexa, play Christmas music by Frank Sinatra, and that's just so cozy for around the house, and I just love kind of having that on all day, so that when I go into the kitchen it just feels nice. If I'm driving in the car, I love this album. And favourite songs: Last Christmas by Wham, Driving Home for Christmas by Chris Ray, Merry Christmas Everyone by Shakin' Stevens, it's a classic, Merry Christmas Everybody by Slade, Sleigh Ride by the Ronettes. I love that. I have this memory of what Christmas? Oh yeah, it would have been Sage's first Christmas. So he was literally about 6 weeks old. And I remember having him, I had this baby carrier that was fabric that you just kind of wrapped all around you. And I used to walk around the house with him in there. And I remember putting on Sleigh Ride and sending Dan a video because Dan was at work. And me dancing around the kitchen with him in the carrier and showing Dan his face and being like, look, he loves it. He loves this song. And he's just like a newborn baby, like, I haven't got a clue what's going on. Last one, Christmas Wrapping by The Waitresses. Okay, those are my top Christmas songs. Okay, what's your favourite Quality Street chocolate? I know you're a fan. Orange cream. Has to be orange cream every time. Okay, since looking at these, I've seen a lot of questions asking if we want to have a second baby. This one says, will you be giving your adorable son a sibling? We definitely want to give Sage a sibling. I think it will just be so special to see him become a big brother. Dan and I have always said that we wanted 2 children, and we are planning on stopping at 2. But yes, the answer is yes, it's definitely in the plans. What did you study? I studied classical civilization, so classics, English literature and psychology. I really hated psychology. I wish I didn't do it. I changed in my first week. I was meant to be doing art history, classics and English literature, which goes together so much better. So I don't know why I didn't stick with that. I really can't remember what made me switch, but it was on like day 5. For some reason, I just switched out art history to psychology. Maybe I had friends in the psychology group. I genuinely cannot remember, but I wish that I'd stuck with English classics and art history because it makes so much more sense. Not a cue, but I can't stop making cornflake cookies from your Tanya Bakes baking book. That's so funny because I literally just mentioned them. I love those and haven't made them in forever, so I really need to make them. Do you feel fully healed physically and emotionally from your birth? I also had a section. I didn't feel like I needed to emotionally heal from my section. My scar has never bothered me. I've never felt upset about having the scar there. However, physically, I don't know if you ever fully heal from having a section. For example, it's been 2 years now, and still, if I go out in the evening and wear high heels and I'm standing up in heels, the next day I will have it feels really tender on the right hand side of my scar. And I did find out that when they, if this is too graphic for you, just skip this question. But I did find out that when they cut me open, I think they used some kind of thing to hold you open, and that was on the right hand side. So mine was always more painful. It doesn't hurt at all on the left, but the right hand side of my scar is still tender sometimes, not all the time. I had numbness for a long time, and I remember thinking, well, I hope this goes away. This is a really strange sensation, but I don't have the numbness anymore. But I think I do probably have quite a lot of internal scar tissue because on the right hand side it does play up sometimes. And weirdly, it took me a while to realize. Sometimes I would just have these days where I say, oh, my scar just kind of hurts today, and it feels like it's pulling in a way from the inside. It's a really bizarre feeling. But then I made the connection that it is weirdly after I've been wearing heels. So what's your exercise routine at the moment with a young child? Now, I can't blame this on having a young child. I know plenty of people who have young children and still have an exercise routine. I actually had a better exercise routine when he was tiny than what I do now. My exercise routine is non-existent. I'm just going to put it out there and be honest with you guys. I really want to get an exercise routine, and I keep saying that, but I've always struggled with the motivation to exercise. I don't know why, but I think because I had the C-section, 3 months after Sage was born, I started doing these Pilates sessions online on Zoom with this lovely woman called Emily. You know, one of those people who every time you see them, they're like a ray of sunshine, no matter what kind of night's sleep you've had, which obviously when you have a new baby, the sleep is not great at the beginning. She could just always cheer me up, and I would just always feel good after seeing her. I don't think it was even about the Pilates and the kind of moving my body, although I'm sure that helped. But I think just having her in my life made me happy. This makes me want to get back in touch with her. I haven't had a session with her in over a year, but I did do it from when Sage was 3 months, because that was when I was kind of cleared to do proper kind of movement, to when he was about a year. I then think it was that time of year that work gets busier and she didn't have the time slots that I wanted, and I ended up just not getting another session in. We never were like, okay, it's finishing now, we're ending this. It just kind of trailed off a bit. But maybe I should get back into Emily because she was just so good. I was saying the reason why I first booked in with her is because I just heard that Pilates was really good for kind of getting your strength back in your body. And I was very aware that after you've had a baby, well, I definitely felt this anyway, I felt a bit like jelly in myself, not in terms of weight, but just in terms of I didn't feel very secure and solid, if that makes sense. I felt like someone could just push me over and I'd be like, oh, like that. And I wanted to just feel a bit stronger. and I wanted to make sure that my core was okay, and I just think it's really important to do that, and thank God I did, because now my life is so physical, carrying around Sage all the time. I have him on my shoulders, I carry him on my hip all the time. I've actually started putting him on my shoulders more because I actually have chronic back pain all the time just from carrying him on my hip, and the way that I kind of contort my body in order to make him comfy and make me as comfy as possible in the moment, but then I'm always very uncomfortable afterwards. Top 3 books you have read. I'm loving your book club. Thank you so much. It makes me so happy that you're loving the book club. I'm so loving having our book club, and we have some very exciting news coming. This video is going up in 2 days on Sunday, and so next week there will be some very exciting book club news. So make sure you're subscribed. I'll put the link in the description box. But without giving too much away, there's basically going to be an in-person thing, which I've been working on since the beginning. When I say since the beginning, I mean since the beginning of the book club, not since the beginning of time. But it's taken about 6 months to put this together. So I really hope that you guys are excited for it. Top 3 books that I have read. I actually have on my phone my favourite books of all time list. Betty by Tiffany McDaniel, Piranesi by Susanna Clarke, and I Capture the Castle by Dodie Smith. Those are my top 3. I'm not going to go into blurbs about them all because otherwise this video I've already been filming for 35 minutes. It's going to be so long. But those are my, if I had to pick 3, it would be those 3. I have loads more though that I would love to give special mentions to. Maybe we'll just give a quick special mention to Circe, Tom Lake, The Vanishing Half, and Demon Copperhead. Okay, that's it. What's on your wish list? Oh, I love this question because also on the notes of my phone, I also have a wish list. So let's have a look. I always have like a running on my phone a fashion wish list, which I honestly haven't touched for about 4 months because I have solely been buying things for the house, not for myself. Well, for the house is technically for me, but I've not been buying fashion things in the last few months. There is one more house item that I really want right now, and that's an Alex DeRainis wall sconce, and it's like a little, my friend Leanne has one in her house, and I also stumbled across the shop in Paris and saw them in person there as well, and they are so beautiful. But you basically, it's like a little wall sconce. So you attach it to the wall. It has a shelf on it, a really pretty detailing like here. So it's like this kind of shape, the wall's here. And then you just sit a candle on top of it and it just makes your house smell amazing. And it's just a nice little detail. So I really want that. In terms of fashion, this isn't really a fashion item, more of a cozy item. I really want the COS cashmere socks. They come in, I've got the link here on my phone. I'll show you. I think they're chocolate brown and beige. Oh, like a camely colour and then a creamy beige colour. But I really want these socks. Other things on my wish list are a camel suede coat. I have seen, I mean, this is a trend item, but I also feel like it's a forever item. It's not going to go out of fashion. It just is particularly in fashion right now. There is a gorgeous one on COS, but it keeps going out of stock. And yeah, I would really, really like that. I can hear Dan coming up the stairs. I think he's got me a coffee. Thank you. What? If you're wondering what my coffee order is, it's a decaf oat latte 95% of the time, or a matcha, but then that's a different drink, it's not a coffee order. However, if I've had a really bad night's sleep for any reason, I will get a caffeinated coffee. But I realised about 15 years ago, I think, that that just drinking caffeine every day can really make me feel a bit on edge and anxious. But now I've realised that if I'm really, really that tired, so I have to be kind of, if this is me normal and I was to have caffeinated coffee, it makes me go, rah, like really anxious. But if I'm feeling really tired, kind of down here, where you can't see my hand, down here, and then I have coffee, it just brings me up to normal. So I have to just kind of judge how I'm feeling on the day. Do I need caffeinated today? Or do I not? Because if I don't need it, it's a disaster. Oh, I really want a brown silk shirt. I feel like that's an evening item that would just be really handy to kind of tuck into jeans and wear out to dinner. I have a kind of an ivory silk shirt, which I do use for that reason, but I would love a chocolate brown one. Okay, that's some things on my fashion wish list. Let's go back to the questions. Does your boyfriend ever find the whole YouTube influencer life strange as he's not really a part of it? This is a really good question actually, because the answer is no. I don't know if it's because he's in kind of a similar industry, because he's an art director in film, that he kind of gets the whole aesthetic thing of Instagram and how that I guess kind of Instagram, I would say, is more related to what he does and creating a look kind of thing than YouTube in a way. Oh no, actually that's a lie, because I mean, sit down videos like this, no, but if I'm shooting kind of vlogs and I want to get kind of nice, interesting shots to, you know, put to music, he's so good at that kind of thing, and he's shot quite a few things for my vlogs in the past. And sorry, let me just go back to the question to see what you asked specifically. Oh, does he find it strange since he's not really a part of it? I would say he finds it more interesting than strange, which I really appreciate. It's really lovely to be with someone who takes an interest in what I do, and also someone whose expertise can lend themselves well to what I do. Like, I will often ask his opinion on things, probably too much, probably really annoys him. I'll send like 10 pictures and be like, which one? But I like that he has a different perspective on it, which can sometimes be really useful. How are you enjoying being back on YouTube? I love it, honestly. But I remember I was telling someone the other day and they were like, what do you love about the editing process? And I was like, editing means that you can sit, you're technically working so you don't have to feel bad, but you can sit under a blanket with a cup of tea, packet of biscuits, and just edit. And I love that. That's like the most cozy work environment for me. But I was saying to this person, I really can't remember who asked me this question. Oh, it was Molly Campsey. But I was saying to her, I just love the entire process. I love this bit, the chatty, the talking to you guys. I think that was what I missed the most. And then I love the editing, I love the uploading, seeing your reaction, reading your comments. I'm really loving the whole everything about it. Okay, there are so many questions, but I'm just gonna have to pick one more because this video is getting so long. Okay, this is quite a long question, but I really like it, so I'm gonna answer it. If you were launching a 10-piece winter capsule collection, what would you include? Okay, this is a good one to do off the top of my head. I would include a long-sleeved fine knit top. I have one from Massimo Dutti in brown, and it's so great. It can take you from day to night with an outfit you could wear out in the evening. It's just so good. Next up, I would choose a neutral, like creamy, cozy knit. I have a really great one from Hush. I have another one from COS. So like a heavy, thick, really warm, cozy knit in like a creamy color. White jeans, blue jeans. Okay, so that's 4. Loafers. Some kind of boot, whether that's like little ankle welly boots or like a nice chocolate brown suede boot, some kind of boot. A lovely winter hat that you can just pull on and feel cozy in. A long line black winter coat. A leather jacket. Oh my God, I've only got one item left. I'm gonna have to say a white t-shirt because that's what I used to layer under everything. And then if you are too hot, if you're inside somewhere and it's hot, I like to have a white t-shirt on. Okay, that's my capsule wardrobe. I'm gonna go and drink my coffee now and edit this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon. Let me know in the comments if you'd like a part 2, if you've enjoyed this Q&A scenario.